Hey Nellie, it's Miss Tracy. So let's go over these problems that you asked for last week. Just now getting to them today, but I'm doing you first because you asked first. All right, so here's our first one. The Gallimaufry, this is lesson 59. The Gallimaufry contain things large and small. So large and small in the ratio of 7 to 2. So 7 to 2, that's our ratio. All right, so then it skips over to the total. It says if the total, so the number of items, this is going to be our quantity of items. If the total of items was, so now we need to go to the total. If the total was 1,098, how many were large? So we're looking for how many were large. So this is what we don't know. We can figure this out later, but in order to get the number in the ratio that's relative to the total, we have to add these together. So 7 plus 2 is 9. So we're going to take the top row, 7, and L, and the bottom row, 9 and 1098. And from there we solve it. So we have 7 times 1098 is 7,686 is equal to 9 times L. Divide both sides by 9. 854 is the number of large items. Okay, so that would be our response for that problem. Let's look at the next one that you had a question about. All right, so we're going to use substitution to solve for x and y. So I have a value for x, which is this right here. So I'm going to drop that in for my x. I'm going to put that in there. So 2, here's my value for x, negative 2y minus 8 minus 3y equals 5. So all I did was I took this and I put it in where the x was. So this becomes negative 4y minus 16 minus 3y is equal to 5. We combine our like terms. They're both negative. So it's negative 7y minus 16 equals 5. I'm going to add 16 to both sides. Negative 7y is equal to 21. Divide both sides by negative 7. Y is equal to negative 3. Right? So I'm going to put negative 3 as my y value. So now I'm going to take this and substitute it in up here. Negative 2 times negative 3, that's the value of y, minus 8. So that's going to be x is equal to negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6 minus 8. X is equal to negative 2. So this should be your answer. That's how you should type that in. All right, here's the next one. It says graph the equation below. Y is equal to negative 3 and 1/2. So what we're looking for here is a line. This is a line where it doesn't matter what x is, y is always negative 3.5. So you just making the dot is not enough. You have to make a line that goes all the way across at the negative 3.5. The line is the answer, not the point. Okay, so it doesn't have to be all the way across. It could be short. As long as you have a line at the negative 3.5 that is horizontal with arrows on both ends. That's what makes it correct, because it goes on and on and on forever. What this is telling me is that x could be negative 4, y is still going to be negative 3.5. X could be a positive 2, y is still going to be negative 3.5. X can be 0, y is still going to be negative 3.5. So it doesn't matter what the value of x is, all of the values of x are going to be paired with y being negative 3.5. That's what we're looking for. All right, I think the next one was this one. All right, no, not that one. This one. Let me copy and paste that over here. All right, so here's what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to write this such that they're in fraction form. And now I'm going to multiply both sides by y, because y is going to be my common denominator, because I do have 1 times y, which gives me 1y underneath c. So I'm going to multiply by y over y. That gives me bxy over y plus c over y, which we can rewrite as bxy plus c all over y. That's your answer. Next problem. All right, we're going to write the answer in descending order of the variable. So let's start with distribution. So 4 times x squared is 4x squared. 4 times negative 3x is a negative 12x. 4 times 5, positive 5 is a positive 20. And actually, I'm going to kind of move this over, and you'll see why in a minute. So now I've got negative 2 times this. So negative 2 times this, that's negative 2x cubed. Negative 2 times positive 2x squared is going to be a negative 4x squared. And negative 2 times a negative 4 is going to be a positive 8. All right, this is a minus, negative 1 really. Negative 1 times 2x to the 4th is negative 2x to the 4th. Negative 1 times negative 3x cubed is going to be a positive 3x cubed. Negative 1 times a positive 1x squared is going to be a negative 1x squared. And then a negative 1 times a positive 3 is a negative 3. All right, so you see how I took each one and I put the like terms underneath each other. The exponents match. That's called the stacking method, and it really helps to organize your solution so you're not constantly having to rewrite and move things around. This is just a neat way to do it, so everything that's alike is already together, and you just add straight up and down, and you get the correct answer. So negative 2x to the 4th, we have negative 2, positive 3, so it's going to be a positive 1x. We know the x is the 1 in front of the x is invisible. We've got positive 4, negative 4. Those two cancel each other out. So we have a negative 1, so it's a minus, the 1's invisible, x squared. We bring this one straight down because there's nothing to combine it with. And this becomes, see, a positive 28. That's going to be a minus 3. It's going to be a positive 25. So this would be your answer. Negative 2x to the 4th power plus x cubed minus x squared minus 12x plus 25. Use the stacking method as you solve this, and it's going to give you a whole lot more organization to the solution, and it's going to make your life a lot easier. You're not going to have to constantly rewrite to organize your data or make a bunch of lines where you, oh, I did that one, cross it out, I did that one, cross it out, and then rewrite it. You know, it's an easier way to do that and just see what's going on in the problem. Okay, I think that was the last one you had for 59. So that's all I have for now.